Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a video young man made, and he was trying to point out something to Black people and how, like, a lot of people are trying to force people that are not Black to be Black. Right? And the fact that they do it and like trying to convince you that this person is Black when this person is not Black. And someone was like, does it mean like, biracials are taking over and all of that? Now let's talk about this, because this is not my fault. I have really noticed this, and amazing how this person actually came out to talk about it and all of that. And he was like, sometimes they give role to somebody that is not even Black, or like, quadroon, and convince you that this person is Black. And then there is this thing that I have heard them say, that in how many years to come, like, everybody's just going to be Black, majority will just be Black. I mean, we'll have more melanin and all that. And I keep asking myself, where did you guys even get all this? So the fact that they are, now let me tell us something. If only you all understand, like, a lot of people already grew up from Black platforms, like, and it's so easy how Black people are so like welcoming to let people grow up their platform and all that. But it is very hard for Asians or Latina, like other communities to welcome us into their own community. Let's get into
One thing I've noticed in a lot of movies and TV shows is how they'll give a role to a racially ambiguous person and then try to convince the viewer that that person is Black. And I realize they only do that with Black people. They never try to convince the viewer that that person is Asian, white, Hispanic, nothing else. They only try to convince the viewer that this racially ambiguous person is Black. And anytime I see that shit, I'm always like, bro, why do they keep trying to play in my face like this? That's like me giving somebody a cup of creamer with a drop of coffee and calling that shit espresso. Like, you gonna want your fucking money back, bro. You know that shit is some bullshit. And anytime I think about this shit, I always think back to these articles that talk about, the average person in the U.S. within the next 25 to 50 years is going to look like this. And then whenever you see the picture, it's like this racially ambiguous person with all these European features, a sprinkle of melanin and a single curl in their hair. And I be sitting there like, damn, what the fuck is it going to mean to be a Black person within the next 25 to 50 years? It's like all these racially ambiguous people going to call themselves Black now. One thing I've noticed in a lot of movies and TV shows is how they'll give a role to a racially ambiguous person and then try to convince the viewer that that person is Black. And I realize they only do that with Black people. They never try to convince the viewer that that person is Asian, white, Hispanic, nothing else. They only try to convince the viewer that this racially ambiguous person is Black.
That is not true. As a matter of fact, Hollywood is notorious for basically doing this to all groups of people. For example, in the show Doogie MD, Disney casted a girl that's not Native Hawaiian at all to play the lead role of a character that's supposed to be part Native Hawaiian. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of wild. But they did it. Non-Hispanic people play Hispanic people all the time as well. One of my favorite shows, Breaking Bad, all of the main antagonists are supposed to be Hispanic, but damn near none of the actors actually are. Gus is supposed to be from Chile, but the actor is Danish American, and Hector and Don Eladio are supposed to be Mexican, but the actors have no ties to Mexico whatsoever. And yes, the Spanish on that show was terrible. Hispanic is a bit different though, in my opinion, because as we know, Hispanic is not a race, and the people that do live in these countries do have similar racial makeups to these actors. But I'm still including Hispanic people because you brought up Hispanic people in your video. You know what is a race though? Native American. And my goodness, has Hollywood had a ball throwing a wig and some makeup on some white actors and calling them Native American. That though is more similar to blackface, and I don't think that's the point that you were trying to get at with your video. The point that I think you were trying to make is that you see a lot of mixed people. So for example, people that have one Black parent and one white parent playing in roles where they have two Black parents. For example, Hilary Banks in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Lisa Bonet in The Cosby Show, and Drake in Degrassi. Now you do have a point, and this is something that happens, proven by the examples that I just gave. However, it's still incorrect and untrue to say that it only happens to Black people, because this also happens to other groups of people. You got Vanessa Hudgens, who may not be Hispanic at all, who played a Hispanic character in High School Musical. In the movie Crazy Rich Asians, two of the main characters, including the male lead Henry Golding, are actually biracial. And what's probably the wildest example of this, in the movie The Son is Also a Star, both lead actors are biracial people playing monoracial roles. Jara Shahidi has an Iranian father and an African American mother, and Charles Melton has a white father and a Korean mother. But in the movie, they are both given two parents of the same race. Now, a lot of y'all might find this surprising, but it even happens to white people. Mark Paul, who plays Zach in Saved by the Bell, is actually biracial, but in the show, he's just white. Jessica Alba played a white woman in the Fantastic Four, even though in real life, her father is Hispanic. And Keanu Reeves played the son of two white people in the movie Under the Influence, even though in real life, Keanu's father is Hawaiian and Chinese. Now, before everybody gets all they're taking our jobs down with the biracials on me, we must also acknowledge that the opposite happens as well. Monoracial people play biracial people in shows and movies all the time as well. For example, Denzel Washington in the movie Carbon Copy, where this is his father. In the movie A Family Thing, Robert Duvall has a black mother. In the movie Southside With You, Barack Obama is portrayed by Robert Sawyers, who has two African American parents in real life. In the show Euphoria, Storm Reed has a white father, even though in real life, Storm Reed has two African American parents. In the show To All the Boys I Loved Before, the lead role has a white father, but is portrayed by Londa Condor, who in real life is just Asian. In the movie Aloha, Emma Stone plays a character that is supposed to be part Chinese and part Hawaiian, and I'm pretty sure Emma Stone has none of that in her. And finally, and I actually find this one funny, but in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, London Tipton has a white father for some reason. And as we know, Brenda Song is just Asian in real life. So as you guys can see, it's definitely not a one-way street. So in conclusion, in my opinion at least, there's definitely levels to this, right? Some of these things are definitely more egregious than others. Well, at the top, I have people that have no relation to the group that they are portraying whatsoever and put things like makeup and wigs to look more like said group. Like I said earlier, that's basically blackface. Then I have actors that also have no relation to the group they're portraying, but don't do things like wear makeup and wigs to look more like the group. So like the girl from Doogie MD who is playing a native Hawaiian despite not being one herself. What is going on with Hawaiians, by the way? As I was doing my research for this video, I saw that Nani from Lilo and Stitch was also going to be portrayed by a non-native Hawaiian. Like, what's going on? Are you really telling me there are no native Hawaiian actors? And if that is the case, why not at least get another Polynesian actor to fill in the role? Moving on though, in last place I have biracial people playing monoracial roles and vice versa. Not gonna lie, I don't think it's egregious at all. I would just say it's not necessarily ideal. If I'm being honest, when it comes to acting, to me at least, the only thing I really care about is believability. You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't tell me that both of these actors were biracial, I wouldn't just automatically know. Same thing with Storm Reed. It's believable that one of her parents can be white, even though she doesn't in real life.
I definitely don't say I have the same challenges as a darker skinned black woman, because I don't. But I do like to take my privileges that I have as a lighter skinned black woman and help them and shine light on those issues, because I think that's important and that we should constantly uplift each other and push for acceptance of all women of color.
Now, I thought that was a good video. I was like, oh snap, Zendaya's talking about colorism. That's cool. The comments, though, did not pass the vibe check, like, at all. Like, she was getting it from everybody. But I did like this comment. If Zendaya's not black, then J. Cole, Barack, Mariah, and Alicia Keys aren't black either. Zendaya's biracial, like those others are. Her dad is black. And sometimes we like to joke about the fact that biracial people sometimes overemphasize the fact that they're biracial. Like, take Logic in any of his songs, or if you ever seen like biracial slam poetry.
I moonwalked out of a white crevice when I was born. I started doing the Dougie on the hospital floor. The nurses were aghast, but my mama said, no, that's just the way of her father's people.
Like, I get the jokes, but like, Zendaya is a fair-skinned brown woman. In some situations, she will be treated differently than a dark-skinned brown woman. That's called colorism. It's not new. It's cultures across the world that treat darker-skinned people worse than fairer-skinned people. All she doing is talking about it, just bringing attention to this thing that we all know is a thing. And then you got a comment section full of people shitting on her because she biracial. You got men in the comment section saying, shut up, women aren't oppressed. You got white people in the comment section saying, shut up, black people aren't oppressed. You got black people in the comment section saying, you're not even black, so you can't talk about this. Like, what is happening? Like, sometimes biracial people get the shit end of the stick, and that was a perfect example of that. It was very, you're not accepted by anybody type shit. And that really sucked to see, especially during Black History Month. Do y'all know what intersectionality is? Like, I don't know if I've gone over that. But a bunch of things can be true at the same time. People can have privileges and oppression at the same time. Like, biracial people can experience privileges because of one parent and experience oppression because of another. I'm a man. I have the privilege of going outside at night and not worrying about getting kidnapped because I'm a man. But I also have to worry about getting harassed by police because I'm black, right? I've got privileges and oppression to worry about. A white woman wouldn't have to worry about being assumed to be a criminal or like a terrorist because of her skin color. But she might still have to deal with being slut-shamed or body-shamed or being harassed by men because she's a woman. Intersectionality. Look it up. That's your word for the day. But yes, colorism works in Zendaya's favor. If she wants to talk about trying to fix that, it doesn't, like, why are people mad about that? Like, it'd be different if it was just the white people doing it, but why are black people trying to put her down for speaking out against colorism? And they're saying that they don't think she's black enough. Like they're doing the colorism. I don't know. That video bothered me. Like, not during Black History Month. I don't know. Y'all can tell me what y'all think. I'll see you in the next video.
So this is all I got from the stage, and yeah, I really have heard them say that in few years to come, like, everybody will look like a black person and all that. So for that reason, they look for a way, or like, pushing some people to do some certain things, or trying to convince us that this person is a black person when the person is not even a black person, or doesn't probably have quadrum or like, So yeah, this is not even my first time of noticing that. I have noticed that way long time ago, and this person like actually came out to point it out and all that. And I think it's so easy to everybody really want to be black. I mean, I think everybody wants black blues, but they not want. I mean, they want our reading, but they do not want our blues or something like that, Everybody wants to like associate themselves or got something to do, like, probably want to be poor or try to act black. But when it comes to things that got to do with black people, you see them run away. So most of them do it because it benefits them, right? But when it doesn't benefit them, like, it's not useful. So yeah, it is what it is. And you all already know how, important you all are all over the world. Like, you all are the trend setters, right? So everybody who really wants to copy you all, everybody wants to be probably associated with black people. Not like, I don't know how to say it. They want to, okay, I think the best thing to say is that all of them want to like buy into, because you all know how influential black people can make you like anything. I mean, if they like you, they will make you the greatest star, the greatest anything all over the world, which a lot of people already have actually come to realize that and understand that, like, if black people are for you, trust me, they are gonna be for you. So a lot of people also look for a way to like buy into that and probably like, win souls. And that's why when you see them, when they make what they want and you see them run away and like, say some certain things or like start acting all funny, because I have seen so many of them that were like, that grew up of black people. A lot of them, it's not like a thing of today. They grew up on black people's platform. And once they are made, you see them, boom, black people are this, black people are that, black people are brainwashed, black people are that. Because when you look at it, like, I remember a lot of Jews, like the Jewish, like, that grew up black people's platform. And it's really amazing how we are like, very, very open-minded. Like, we are so quick to welcome people into our community. But people are not like other communities, don't even like, open their arms for black people. So a lot of people really want our breeding, but they do not want our place. That's all I got to say. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.